Hi, it's Carmen Murray, and I wanted to have a conversation with you about the Dosha clock from Ayurveda. So I love this clock because it helps me align with nature's rhythms. And when I feel aligned, I feel like I have so much more energy and that my life just flows a little bit easier. And when I have stuff come up, I'm okay with it. I'm able to respond to it rather than react. So as we look at this dosha clock, you see at the bottom, it talks about sunrise and sunset. And so if we think about our daily rhythms, the sun rising is when we want to start to rise. And I know sometimes that seems a little crazy when we look at the clock. One of my greatest learnings, and I'm still working on it, is to not let my mind overrun how my body feels. So that when I'm awake at 4:30 in the morning and I'm wide awake, ready to take on my day, I don't force myself to go back to sleep because it's 4:30. I allow myself to get up and feel great in that day. So sunrise to 10 a.m. is what they call kapha time. It's a great time to connect with the earth. It's a great time to work out. It's a great time to, eat a light breakfast. As we shift from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., that's our pitta time, and our digestive fire is the strongest. So that's the best time to eat our biggest meal so that it can feed us for the next 24 hours. So increasing your fat and protein during that time really sets you up for your afternoon and your evening, and all the way until the next day, which is pretty cool. And this 2 p.m. to sunset is what they call vata time. And it's your mind kind of goes sometimes at that time. And so this is a great time to be doing some activity, most of us work during this time, and that's kind of like the time where we often have that afternoon crash. And so if we've eaten a decent meal at lunchtime, we're able to come through that afternoon crash and start to wind down. And if we look at this from eating mindset as we continue, if we can eat before 6 o'clock or the sunset, our body is able to start to digest that food. And so as we come into kapha mode, our body starts to quiet down and slow down. And if we have eaten a big meal at, say, 8 o'clock at night, our body isn't able to digest that. It takes a whole bunch of our energy. And then when we shift into the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is your ideal time for sleeping, rather than sleeping and rejuvenating our body and digesting our experiences and our thoughts throughout the day, our body actually has to digest that food that's in our system. So we aren't able to get that deep rest that can rejuvenate our cells and digest our experiences and our emotions in the day, which leaves our experiences and emotions undigested, and then they get stored in funny places in our body. We continue around from that 2 a.m. to sunrise, or 6 a.m.-ish. That's a great time to get up early, drink some water, eliminate, move your body, and get your systems up and going. Now, I'm not saying let's get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but like 5 o'clock is great. Right now it's darker a little bit later, so even if you're up at 6 o'clock, that can be super helpful for you to move your body, get outside, in touch with nature. So I'd really love you to have a look at how do your daily habits align with this dosha clock. So you could even draw a circle on a piece of paper and look at this dosha clock and compare it to what are your habits in your day and how do they align with this dosha clock. Now, you might find that some of them don't align at all, or lots of them don't align. I want you to think about 1% improvement. That means choose one, only one, to start to work on so that you can feel success and you can set yourself up for that success. Because if you take them on, it's going to overwhelm you and it's going to send you into your mind about you're not doing enough, and we do enough of that in a day. I don't want to add to that. That's not my goal in this. What I want you to do is choose one thing that you're like, oh, I can easily change that, and start to shift that one thing. And believe it or not, it will start to shift a few other things, even though you're not focusing on them. Have an amazing day.